Hello friends, welcome to our channel Mechanical Motivator. In this video, we will be seeing regarding types of stresses. These types of stresses will determine that how much, or we can say what stress is acting on a particular material. That is, we will be able to identify how many stresses are acting in a particular material. According to the direction of load given, we can understand a material will be subjected to which kind of stresses. So let us start with types of stresses. So tensile stresses, compressive stresses, shear stresses, torsional stresses, crushing stresses, bearing stresses, bending stresses. So there are totally 7 types of stresses. When we are studying machine design, then we should definitely know about these 7 types of stresses. Once we understand the types of stresses, then we can easily say the nature of node, like a material is subjected to which kind of stresses. So I will start explaining one by one. So we'll be going with so starting will be a tensile stress. So just have a look at this diagram. In this diagram, a rod is subjected to stresses at the both the ends, and the diameter of the rod is small d and length of the rod is small l. So just have a look at this diagram. A rod is subjected to a upward force, and downwards what happens? A rod is subjected to a downwards force. But just have a note that the value of the load is same on both the sides, but only thing is the direction is alone different. So take an example of a pen or a pencil. If we apply two forces in opposite direction, then it will try to pull at each end. So when I'm pulling up, when I'm pulling up, what happens is a tensile force will be developed in the rod. So because of this pull type of loading, the stress developed in the material is called as tensile stress. Then we will be going for a compressive stress. So same compressive stress, have a look at this diagram. The only thing is the forces will be acting towards the rod. So what happens here, when there is a push type of loading, what happens, a compressive stress will be developed in the rod. So just have a look at this rod. Actually two forces are acting, but the only thing is they are acting in the same direction and pointing towards the rod. So what happens is there will be a push type of loading induced. Because of this push type of loading, the stress developed in the material is called as compressive stress. And one important thing to note with both tensile as well as compressive is the load which is acting will be passing through the axis, and the area around which the load is acting actually it will be in a circular in cross section, and this area is called as cross sectional area, and we can area formula is pi by 4 d square. So next thing we will be going with shear stress. So shear stress, what happens is there are two plates which will be sliding, and actually what happens is, suppose the top plate the load is acting towards the left, and bottom plate the load is acting towards the right. So the two plates are joined. The two plates are joined with the help of a joint. So what happens here is both the top and bottom plates slide since they are moving in opposite direction. This plate will be moving left direction, and the bottom plate will moving right direction. So what happens is there will be sliding take place. So there is a possibility that the plates can slide in that direction. So because of the sliding, what happens? The rivet can break at this junction. So due to the shearing and sliding of the plate, the rivet is broken. In case of shear stress, the load is tangential to the cross-sectional area. So this shearing may be a single shear or double shear depending upon. Single shear means it will be taking in 2 plates. Double shear means it will be taking in 3 plates. Now we will be going with the torsional shear stress. So in torsional shear stress, what happens? Suppose we are having a shaft rotating inside a bearing. So this is the bearing and this is the shaft. So due to the rotation of the shaft, each layer, that is due to the rotation of this shaft, each layer will be subjected to shear stress. Torsional shear stress is seen in members which are rotating. So because of this rotation, what happens is there are chances of slipping of the layers. So there are chances for slipping of this layer. So next we will be going with the crushing stress. So crushing stress, what happens? So here there are two plates, then loading subjected in the opposite direction. One will be in left direction and another will be in right direction. Due to this, what happens? A shearing stress will be induced, and due to the shearing stress, the rivets are break or broken. Actually, it's shown here, right? So rivers will be broken here, or sometimes it will be crushed. We can't always say that rivers are broken. Sometimes the rivers are crushed, and this crushing will be taking place at this point. Actually, it is a localized stress acting on a member irrespective of the time of loading. So, example, we can tell like even pins, the pins will be preventing quarter joint, right? So, there what happens, the crushing will be taking place more frequently. So, the crushing is also another words we can call it as a local compression. We can call crushing as a local compression, and because of this material, what happens is the because of this what happens, the material get crushed into fine powders. So the material at this point are crushed into fine powder. So example, if you take a concrete means, if you are applying a compressive stress on them, so what happens, then it would be crushed into fine powder. So the area which undergoes crushing is called as a projected area, and formula will be pi dl. So next one will be the bearing stress. So bearing stress is somewhat similar to crushing stress. Actually, what happens here is a member, that is a member or a stationary, like we can say like pin, quarter joint, bolt, etc. They are subjected to crushing. So here what happens is shaft, that this shaft will be this shaft is made up of a steel. Actually, it is very harder when compared to the bush. So what happens is here bush will be acting as a medium. Actually, bush will be acting as a medium to connect the shaft. So first what we will be doing is, we'll be here bearing is here a bearing will be there, and it's called as a fixed bearing. First of all, we will be having a bearing. Inside that we will be inserting a bush. Inside that a bush will be inserted, and inside the bush what we will be inserting and in that bush we will be inserting this shaft. So when the shaft is rotating, there are chances for the bush to worn off. So due to this, a failure will be occurring at that point. Due to this, a failure will be occurring at that point, and this failure is called as a bearing failure. And stress developed in the bush is called as a bearing stresses. So stress developed in the bushes or bearings is called as a bearing stresses. It is most frequently seen in those members which are continuously rotating. It is mostly seen in members which are having a continuous rotation. Example, we can say a shaft rotating in a bush. So bearing stress, actually bearing stress is applicable under bush materials, right? So we are using bush here, right? So bush is made up of a rubber, brass, gunmetal, bronze, etc. Whereas shaft is made up of steel, and this is the bearing area. So bearing stress is applicable to bearing to area which are in contact with the bush and the shaft, and this is known as a bearing area, and formula is pi dl. So bearing stress can be written as ratio of bearing load to bearing area. Bearing load is represented by W and bearing area is represented by A. So next we will be seeing bending stresses. So for bending stresses, we have taken two examples. One will be simply supported beam and another one will be the cantilever beam. In simply supported beam, the load is acting at the center point. In cantilever beam, the load will be acting at the free end. So in both cases, what happens, in both beams, actually both the beams are subjected to bending with the help of the load. When the beams bend, there will be, I mean the beams will, when beams bend, I mean when the layers bend, then they will be subjected to a bending stresses, and this is what we call it as. So they are the layers of the beam are subjected to bending stresses. It is the stress, actually bending stresses, it is the stress developed in the member because of this bending, because of this bending load. Due to the bending load, the bending stresses are induced, and bending stresses can be represented by sigma b. Actually, we will be seeing these formula and equations in deflection of beam in strength of materials. That is, m by I is equal to sigma b by y is equal to E by R. So m will be representing the bending moment, and I will be the representing moment of inertia. Sigma b means bending stress, and y is the deflection, I mean distance from the neutral axis, and E will be the Young's modulus, and R is the radius of curvature. So these things will be, this formula will be helpful for calculating the bending stress, and it is actually these are called as a flexural formula, and we will be using these formulas for determining any one of the unknown. Like in case if you are having if you don't know mean moment, or else if you want to determine bending stress means, we'll be using this formula. So I hope you have a clear understanding with all these seven, excuse me, so all these seven kinds of stresses, I think so. So all these seven kinds of stresses. So in case if you are having any doubt means, just type in the comment section so that I can clarify all your doubts. And if you want me to take any other topic also, you can type in the comment section, so that that particular topic I will be handling up.